When Foxy changed the night guard, he sings a popular pirate shanty. I couldn't find the original song, so I used the song from Sea of Thieves as an example instead. Alright, next up is a Balloon Boy drawing which can be seen on the wall with all the other drawings right before the opening credits scene, which was awesome by the way. The opening credits scene is in the style of the secret minigames in the FNaF games, but in my opinion it looks mostly in the style of the FNaF 4 minigame. The characters' their legs also move the same way as they do in the minigames. In the same opening credits, you can see William Afton as a purple guy, which is a reference to what he looks like in the minigames in the actual FNaF games, and his iconic name made by the fandom, Purple Guy. And it looks like the same shot from the real minigame where William puts on the costume on someone else, whereas in the movie, he puts it on himself. In the same scene, you can see these two colored birthday decoration thingies, and they look very similar to the ones in the FNaF 4 Night 2 minigame. Even the ground looks similar. Only in the actual FNaF minigame, the colors are reversed. And next up is a small, but I guess an Easter egg nonetheless, and that is a unwithered Foxy that could be seen in the opening credits scene, which also could be seen in the teaser that was hidden in Scott Cawthon's new FNaF troll game, Freddy's in Space 3. So, yeah. When Mike gets woken up by his alarm, you can see that Mike's desired time to wake up is at 6 AM. And either this one is a tiny Easter egg or a tiny stretch, but I think this is a callback to the whole 6 AM gig where that's the time you complete a night in the FNaF game. And this one seems pretty obvious, but this is most likely a callback to MatPat and its importance to FNaF with his game theory videos. This Easter egg can be seen when Mike first wakes up with the book on his desk. Next up is Chica's Rainbow, which is the final boss in FNaF World, which is now seen in an ice cream shop in a mall.
Because I don't want it to melt the ice cream.
Here we have another small one, but in the background when Mike is looking at the business card he got, you can hear the Theodore March melody playing on the TV. In the scene where William Afton calls with Mike to introduce him to everything in the pizzeria, he says at the end, "I will catch you on the flip side," which most likely is a reference to Scott saying almost the exact same thing.
So, I will catch you on the flip side.
This next one is an obvious one, and this is where you can see this annoying little dipshit looking f***ing punching bag that nobody likes from the FNaF 2 game where this little f***er takes your batteries like a motherfucker. Don't you want to hold this little shit by his throat and just beat the shit Alright, this next one is pretty cool and has a cameo in it at the same time. This is a diner called Sparky's, which is a reference to the very old and popular FNaF hoax about a dog in FNaF 1 called Sparky. And his name made it into the movie. Don't worry, this is not the last reference to it.
Hey, welcome to Sparky's. Could I set you folks up with some appetizers?
And as you can see, MatPat has a cameo in the movie, and even works at Sparky's. For those who don't know, he's the popular theorist behind the FNaF lore called Game Theorists, or better known as just Game Theory or MatPat.
Well, that's no fun. You do realize that lunch is the most important meal of the day.
Thought it was breakfast.
Some people say that, but you know, it's just a theory.
Are you being...
In the movie, MatPat's name is Ness, most likely referencing to the Loch Ness Monster, and because MatPat is a theorist, and because the Loch Ness Monster is a very popular theory, it makes sense for him to be named that way, which is a fun little Easter egg. In this scene, where Mike has his dream, this child Fritz, aka Foxy, is crying black tears, which is referring to the crying child look from the games, where they're constantly crying black tears in their ghost form. Next up is the iconic "It's me" sentence shown throughout many of the FNaF games, and fortunately, it's now an Easter egg in the movie. Alright, this one has a lot of cameos in one shot. The Employee of the Month board has a bunch of different YouTubers on it like DJ Sturf, Blitzwinger, Dawko, Razbowski, and more. This Easter egg can be seen in the scene where the pizzeria is being destroyed. Here we see Carl, who funnily enough shares the same name as the cupcake, which in the games is called Carl the Cupcake. But here we see him wear a Midnight Motors shirt, which is a minigame from FNaF 6. This one is pretty obvious for the fans that played the game, but for the people that are new, This scene pays homage to Foxy running through the hallway in the games, and now he does it in the movie. Yay. Alright, this one gave me a heart attack in the theater. Here we see Sparky the dog again, but as an actual animatronic that made it into the movie. And that's especially a big thing for those like me that were there when the Sparky hoax blew off on the internet. And now it's just an actual thing in the movie. By the way, this cameo will freak you out as well. But this one is one of my big favorites, if not my #1 favorite cameo. And that Shadow Freddy is laying there next to Sparky the dog. Originally a rare animatronic you can see in FNaF 2 and later in the Follow Me game in FNaF 3. No worries, you'll see more of him later. Here you can see a clock in the background that looks like the one you can see in Mike's house in this location, so that's a neat little reference. This reference is referring to the epic game called Fortnite. Alright, never mind, this is my favorite of them all, and in this scene you can hear a slowed down and a little edited version of Where Dreams Die, which is a song that plays in Ultimate Custom Night. It might be a little stretch, but I personally think it actually is a reference to the song. I'll compare the two songs right now. After Mike escapes the torture device thing, Max can be seen stuffed inside of a Shadow Freddy suit, and there's another shot of Sparky the dog next to it. But this time, Hank is stuffed inside of the suit. Oh yeah, and before the movie released, the same troll game and teaser showed Shadow Freddy on the monitor, so that's pretty cool. And here we have another YouTuber cameo that was shown in the trailer featuring the samurai himself, X Kenshin, playing a taxi driver. Alright, so this one might be a reference / Easter egg, or it's just a stretch, but basically in the games, Mike's sister Elizabeth gets captured by an animatronic circus baby and gets stuffed inside circus baby. And considering the movie, the animatronics was trying to stuff Mike's sister into an animatronic that looks like it's Circus Baby from Wish, it really does look like it's a reference to the games.
Chica, I don't like this.
Alright, so this is me after editing the entire video to tell you that I'm wrong with this one, and that the animatronic you see here is actually Ella from the Fazbear Frights book, so yeah, bad on my part, oof. Alright, so this is most likely people's favorite reference, which is why I'm often saying his iconic line, "I always come back" from the games.
I always come back.
I always come back.
Here we see Foxy dragging William Afton away after he got spring-locked, which is most likely a reference to the Silver Eyes novel, where the exact same thing happens, only Freddy is the one dragging him away. And here at the credits of the movie, we finally get to hear the Living Tombstone song of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 in the movie, and I'm really glad they did this. And here we have a post-credit scene with the samurai X Kenshin in it, and a certain animatronic that I absolutely hate and wish could have died with William.
Nope, not today. Sorry. I said read the
After the Living Tombstone's FNaF 1 song, the Puppets theme from FNaF 2 can be heard playing in the background. last but not least in the credits, we can see letters being spelled out, which ultimately will spell out "Come Find Me," with the sounds being used from the FNaF 2 Save Them minigame, which also uses Spacehouse letters to spell something. I gotta note though that only in streaming platforms and theaters where subtitles are turned on will have the letters get spelled out letter by letter, so I put the subtitles in the video myself, after I've shown you a clip of the actual Save Them minigame. But yeah, enjoy and thank you for watching.